What's up, guys? Welcome back to another SNT video vlog type deal. Today we're going over the truck. It's a pretty cool build, I think. I've had a lot of people always slide up in my story when I post the truck and talk about how cool it is, and they kind of want to hear more about it. They have questions about what's on it and whatnot, so I figured why not make it the second video on the channel, the second real, like I said, vlog video on the channel. So you guys are going to stay right there. I'm going to pop the tent up, and then we're going to do an overview on the truck and talk about it, talk about some pros, talk about some cons, talk about what I want to do to it in the future and kind of what is in the works for it already. And you guys can see my humble abode when I'm camping or when I go out fishing and decide to camp. So yeah, let's get to it. I guess before I start, it is 6:08, just so we have a timeline so you guys can understand how fast or how slow it takes to set up. I will say pulling it down takes longer, but setting it up, super easy. Alrighty, we're done. It is 6:12, so it doesn't take too terribly long. One guy, it takes a little bit slower. Usually me and my girlfriend can have it up in about like 4 minutes. I guess that's how long it took me to set up this time. So yeah, it's super easy to set up. It is like no work. I mean, I'm sweating a little bit, but that's because it's 80 out here right now and I got horrible flies flying around. But yeah, this is the Scales and Tails getaway, I guess, the camping experience. So before we go over the tent, in the last video I talked about that project my dad and I were going to be working on in the bed of the truck. So we're going to start in the bed of the truck, and then we'll go the side rails, what I have planned, and then we'll give you guys a view of the tent. And yeah, we'll just have a good old time when maybe you guys can model your build after what I've created here myself. Alrighty, so in the right side of the drawer we got all our cooking goods. We got our butane stove, a couple of butane backup canisters, some fire starters, some olive oil, some beans, some sloppy joe, just kind of a mosh podge of stuff. We haven't really restocked this from the last time we went out, or really kind of contained all this stuff since I built this. So it's going to be kind of crude in here. It's going to be a mess, but rest assured we have containers. That's actually what we're doing this weekend. So you guys are just looking at the undrafted, or I should say the unpolished version of this. So got all our cooking stuff up at the front, got our pots and pans, got some more fire starters. Pull it out a little bit further. We got our camping shower. We got some extra clothes that I just threw in there because I had them in other totes. Got a sleeping pillow. We got some of my fishing stuff, actually like all my fishing stuff. And so that's the extent of what's on the right side. This is just kind of more of our daily use stuff, what we're going to be using all the time, and kind of what gets used the most, what gets pulled in and out the most. So then for the left side, this is kind of like the tools and the stuff that we won't be using as much or be needing to get into. So we got the cooler. I custom cut it. My dad and I custom cut it out so it slides in there perfectly. It actually fits perfect, which is just so unbelievably perfect that it fits in there so well. And this stuff is kind of all scattered around. We got a hunting vest in here, got some extra diff fluid, got some PV blast, just got all sorts of stuff. Got some tools in here. Got a nice Tecton torque wrench, got a gun cleaning kit, Got some extra, just some extra oil stuff in case you gotta ever do anything to the truck. And then a full jug of diff fluid, just in case, never know. Got some other miscellaneous stuff in here. Like I said, this is mostly just stuff that you kind of have to use in a pinch. We're gonna get some more tools in here, gonna get some recovery gear in here, but this is kind of what's all in here. We don't really have to bring so much, so this stuff is kind of barren, and it's gonna look a lot more barren once it's confined into totes and stuff. But it's not terrible. I really, really like it. It's a lot better than having totes slide all around in the back of the truck, and it's just, this in itself is probably the coolest thing that I've done to the truck so far. So, outside the drawer, we have this soft top. It is so nice. I didn't have the soft top before, and I didn't have it before I had the drawers. So I had these totes just sliding around in the back of the truck, getting soaking wet. They were Sportsman's totes, so they were waterproof, but it was just such a pain in the butt. I was always scared that people were gonna open it up and steal all my crap. I had the Yeti back here. It just like wasn't a good look. So after my dad and I built this last weekend, I was like, okay, I need to get a soft top to put on there. Amazon had a really, really nice one for like $225, so I picked that up, and it's just so worth it. I mean, just the peace of mind I get out of it is just so worth it, in my opinion. And so now, kind of talking about the drawer system, the drawers were a necessity. Like I said, the trunks were just not doing it anymore. So I found the drawer system. It's pretty common in like the Toyota camping community, overlanding community, whatever you guys want to call it. It's honestly decently cheap. Those deck systems, which are like the plastic, it's like the same exact thing, but it's plastic. They pull out, that sort of thing. Those are like $900 to $1,200, $1,300, $1,600. They're expensive, and good luck finding them. If you don't live by one of their authorized dealers, you're gonna have to buy one secondhand. So I just said, screw it, I'm gonna build my own, as many people do in the community. So I ended up paying, I think it was like $325. Don't quote me on this, but I think that was 6 pieces of white pine 1x8, 5 pieces of white pine 1x10, 2 pieces of 4-foot by 8-foot white pine sheets of like plywood, if that's what you want to call it, and then just a bunch of screws. These handles were like $12 a piece. The flooring I have is actually left over from my parents, so we won't consider that into the factor. But I also got this from a pretty small lumber yard up at home, so it's a little bit more expensive. I priced it out, and if you got it from like Home Depot, it'd be more like $275-ish, so you'd save yourself a little bit of money. But you know, I worked with what I had. And it took my dad and I about 6 hours to do it. It wasn't too long. It was pretty easy. It was a lot of fun. I think you could probably get it down to about 4 hours if you really busted your ass and didn't mess around. We were just having a good time doing it, just a project. And so, I mean, it's honestly so worth it. It's worth saving the money, and it was just kind of a fun project for us to do. So that's the whole back of the truck. We got our hobo pie maker right here. Can't forget that. And then my net. I'm gonna be putting some travel rods and stuff in there too. I got all my baits in there, so why not throw a travel rod or like a travel fly rod in there, a BFS rod, something like that. And yeah, it's just kind of nice because we can leave all of our stuff out of the cab. If I'm going camping, I'm 99.9% of the time taking my girlfriend and taking our dog. So the back seat is occupied by the dog, and the front passenger seat is occupied by the girlfriend. So we kind of needed this, and so just broke down and built it. Like I said, it was a lot of fun, and I'll put in the description a couple of the videos I actually watched, and then like kind of a more refined material list of what I had. But like $300, $325, you can build yourself one of these, and it's so great. It's so convenient. I would highly suggest it if you guys are looking into kind of building one of these. But we're gonna check out the side panel. We'll check out the top of the truck, or the tent, I should say, and we're gonna wrap this video up because I am sweating my booty off, and these horse flies, black flies, whatever you want to call them, they are tearing my arse up. So let's check out the side panel. Side panel's nothing cool yet, just some traction boards that are on here. They're pretty solid, pretty sturdy. Just in case I ever need them, I'd rather have them and need them than need them and not have them, as the old saying goes. This is a Rado Design 6-inch molly panel. Shaking the whole truck, those things are on there super sturdy. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I might do a roto packs for like fuel on the side. I'm not too entirely sure. I'm not like super needy on needing to fill this rack up, mostly because it's expensive, and I haven't really ran across needing a necessity for anything. So this is the side rack. I want to get another one of these Molly panels for the other side for a solar panel setup. So I don't know, that's just something that I'm going to price out and probably work on over the winter, kind of design a little bit and figure out throughout this year if that's something I really want to do. It's a little bit of an expensive venture, but it's still worth it if I'm planning on camping for a couple days and I kind of need the power and need to charge batteries and stuff. Alright, so next we're going to check out the master suite, crawl up that ladder, and we'll show you guys the tent, kind of talk about the tent. And then we'll kind of break this whole thing down as far as packing it all up. And yeah, we'll get on our way. Alrighty, I'm going handheld, so I might be a little shaky, but this is the Trailhead Tough Stuff Rooftop Tent, other known as the RTT. If you guys ever see me type that on Instagram, you know what that is now. The RTT, as you can see, comes with the ladder, comes with all the posts so you can kind of put out your awnings and all that good stuff. Sits on that 6-inch lift Rado design bed rack that I have on there. And let's check out the inside. It might be a little dark. We'll see. Oh yeah, it's dark up here. Alrighty, so as you can see, this is like a pretty massive, bed. We can both fit up here, plus our dog. We have about a 70-pound lab, and yeah. So we got the sleeping bag. We got a little life hack if you guys are getting into camping, don't want to break a bunch of money on a sleeping bag or anything. We actually have a couple moving blankets from Harbor Freight, super thick material, super cushiony. And we bought 2 of them for like $25, and they're just kind of a nice way of staying warm when it's not super cold or you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on that. And the nice thing about the tent is we can actually leave all this stuff in here and close it. So we have 2 pillows, our sleeping bag, and 2 moving blankets, and we can just leave them all in here, close it, fold it up. I mean, they're super flat right now. It usually takes about an hour for everything to kind of puff back up, but it is so worth it not having to take up a bunch of room in other stuff, or in other parts of the truck, I should say. So we just leave all our stuff in here, and it's never really been a problem. It's super comfy. The sleeping mat, I think, is about 2.5 inches. It's super comfortable. If you want to put a bigger one in here, you obviously can. There's no rules against that. But it's just, it's really nice. I picked this up for $700 secondhand, and it's been worth every single dollar. We've only used it about 3 or 4 times, but it has by far paid for itself in the experiences and the adventures we've gotten to have in it. It's even got a little sunroof. So if you want to open that up and look at the stars at the night, you can. So the nice thing about the windows is they actually have the clear plastic, so if it's raining you don't have to be too upset about it, which is super, super nice. And yeah, like I said, it's pretty good size. We can both fit in here perfectly fine. Never had problems. We've always slept pretty well on it. And yeah, you feel really secure. You feel like you're a part of the truck. Like whenever you get up or roll at night, you can feel the truck kind of move, which is a good feeling because that means you're not going to be going anywhere. Alrighty guys, this is me in it. As you can see, it's pretty tall. I mean, there's no such thing as being too big for this tent, I feel like. I feel like it's a really, really good size. You have nothing to worry about if you buy one, you're a bigger guy. Even like if you weigh a little bit more than maybe you should, I don't think you have to worry about it. Like the tent is good for, I think, 900 pounds sitting static weight. And then the bed rack I have is probably like 1,200 pounds. So you have nothing to worry about. I would highly suggest buying one if you're on the fence, if you're a little bit bigger of a guy and you're worried about it holding up. It's gonna be just okay. And you can pop this thing up anywhere. I mean, you could probably pop it up in a Walmart if you wanted to. People would kind of look at it weird, but there's weird stuff that happens at a Walmart. And it's just super convenient to be on the bed of your truck. You don't have to get a hotel if you travel anywhere. You can just find a little campground or find a traffic pull-off. Just pop this thing up, catch a few Z's, put it back together, and you're on the road again. So we're gonna pack this thing up, show you guys how fast I can pack it up. It's been a couple of weeks since I've packed it up, so I might be a little bit slow, but it's not going to take too long. I'm probably going to sweat my butt off even more, but we'll start the timer, and we'll see how long it takes us. So let's let the time lapse begin right now. Alrighty guys, it is 6:38 currently. We're going to pack this thing up. I'm going to guess around like 6:47 I'll be done packing it up, so let's get to it. boom, we're done. That was actually quicker than I thought it was gonna be. It's 6:45, excuse me. So what do we start at? 6:38. So less than 10 minutes. I thought we were gonna be just under 10 minutes. We actually were a little bit faster. So that's cool. So yeah, that's the Rooftop 10. Super easy. If you've thought about buying one, I would say buy one. If you use it 2 times, you're gonna get your money's worth out of it. We're gonna wrap this video up back at the apartment because these bugs are just absolutely killing me, and I have AC at the apartment. So I'll see you guys at the apartment. What's up, guys? It's a few days later now. Here to talk about the pros and cons of the truck build, of the drawer, I guess more so. Starting off with the pros. So the biggest pro is it was a lot of fun to make. It cost about $350, which is cheaper than those deck systems I had talked about before. The other pro is how much stuff it actually can hold. We kind of boxed up all our stuff that was in there this weekend, so we got it all organized, and wow, there's a lot of room still in there. I mean, we still probably have about 2.5 feet of space that we can fill with whatever we want. We don't even have enough stuff to fill with, so we just have a void of open space. So having that much room and being able to have a full cab open, like so my girlfriend, my dog, and I can all fit in the cab with a lot of space is super cool. I mean, that's the highest pro on this list, and I think that's the reason why I built it, in all honesty. The only con I can think of is the weight. The weight, it probably weighs about 200 pounds, probably about 300 with everything in there. I mean, but the weight, it's going to be good for the winter because I'm going to have some weight in the back of my truck. If you guys are familiar with like rear wheel vehicles or like trucks in general, you need to have some weight in the back so you don't fishtail around. So that's kind of a pro, I guess, in that aspect too. But if you're a smaller person or a single guy or whatever it may be and you want to pull it out, it's going to take some muscle. You're going to have to take both. You're going to have to empty out all the drawers, pull the drawers out each one by themselves, and then pull it out. And even then, you'll probably need some help. So I guess if you're the type of person that wants to have a canoe back there, or whatever it may be, fill it up with lumber and stuff, and you want to pull the drawer system out, that's going to be a little bit of work. But I don't think that it outweighs the pros. I mean, you can just throw stuff in the back of your truck and you don't have to worry about it getting wet when you have that soft top, or you don't have to worry about it sliding around because it's in a nice confined space in the deck system. And I don't know, I just think that it's so worth the ease of mind of not worrying about people stealing your stuff, not worrying about your stuff getting wet, and being able to have 4 people in your cab or 2 people in a dog or whatever combination it is, and to have a full cab of space. I mean, this outweighs everything else I can think of. Like I said, if you guys have any questions about the build, if you want to build your own, or if you want more details, leave a comment in the comments, and I can kind of help you guys out. I want to try to figure out a way to post my schematics I drew up. They're not the best, but I think it could help people if they're interested in that. It's a lot of fun. If you guys have any questions, like I said, just reach out to me. I can help you guys build one pretty easily. And for $350, it was a lot of fun. Got to mess around with my dad and build this to the specs I wanted, which is another pro. Like, you can literally build it to the exact specs you want it. You can have any feature you want. You can carpet it. You can put hard decking on it. You can do literally anything you want. And that's just, I think that's another huge pro of it. You can design it however you want. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys enjoyed the truck build or have any questions, make sure you guys leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I will be answering to all the comments if there's questions in there. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Hopefully next week we'll be back to fishing a little bit. I gotta gonna be a busy week, but hopefully next week we'll fish and we'll have a fishing video for you guys. So again, if you guys like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave any comments you guys have. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, or this video I should say, and we'll see you guys next time.